So we've learned about the difference between deductive and inductive arguments. And now what we do is we move on to kind of evaluating those. We've learned what an argument is, what a non-argument is. We've learned about the parts of arguments. Now we've differentiated between valid and, or I'm sorry, deductive and inductive. And now we begin to look at the two claims every argument makes. Every argument makes two claims. One is an inferential claim. Inferential claim is basically the idea that what I'm saying infers what I'm trying to conclude. That the information actually adds up to prove what I want to prove. For example, if I say, hey, my dog barks a lot, does that mean all dogs bark a lot? No. And so that would be a very weak inferential claim that because my dog barks a lot, all dogs bark a lot. I don't own a dog, by the way. But on the other hand, if I say something else, it may be very likely to reach the conclusion. So that's the inferential claim. Then there's also a factual claim, and that's that the premises are true and the conclusion is true. It's all about whether or not what you're saying is true or false. And so there's two ways to evaluate an argument. There are two ways an argument can go wrong. It can go wrong by giving you false information. It can go wrong by having information that doesn't really prove what you want it to prove. And so we evaluate those. And with deductive arguments, if they prove what we want them to prove and their inferential claim works, then we call it valid. If it doesn't, we call it invalid. If the factual claim, if everything it's saying is true, all the premises are true, then we call it and it's valid, we call it a sound argument. If it's valid but the factual claim is not met, they're using false information, then we call it unsound. If it's invalid, we just call it unsound because it's just an unsound argument. It doesn't matter if the premises are true or not, it's unsound. Same thing with inductive arguments there. It's about, is the conclusion probably true or not? So if it's probably true, we call it strong. If it's not probably true, we call it weak. And then we use the term, if they use correct facts, we call it cogent. And if they use false facts in a strong argument, or falsity, truth value of false on some of the premises, we call it uncogent. And if it's weak, we always just call it uncogent. So those are some of the terms, and you'll learn those. And that's basically the gist of what we're going to try to get through this week.